gentlemen, we are back with a Hawkeye. Drake, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. We were just talking off air that I got to get some Iowa commits on the podcast because when people want to commit on the podcast or do come on, they say, "Hey, it's a giveaway. It's Penn State." So we're gonna work on getting some Hawkeye commits on here.
Yeah, the next commit, I'll make sure they come on here. We'll end that streak.
I love that. Yeah, streaks. We're going to talk about streaks in a little bit. But before we kind of dive into this past season, everything that comes with it, I want to take a step back to see how you're doing. You've had a long, intense year, a lot of highs, some frustrations. How are you feeling right now, physically, mentally, a few weeks removed from NCAA's?
I think it's still a little fresh, right? It's only been 2 weeks and plus some, but I'm doing good. It's just at the end of the day, it's just a wrestling match, and um, I got to move on. I mean, it's in my past now, so I'm still working on moving on. Obviously, it's a little break time right now for me, so um, I'm taking a little break, and it's not like I'm down super depressed. I'm fine. I'm good. It's just a wrestling match, like I said. Obviously a little important one, right?
Yeah.
It means a lot, but at the end of the day, I'm just grateful I have another year. I mean, I have another year to to go get what I've been setting out to get. So that helps ease the pain a little bit.
And it looks like you got a sweet gaming setup for people who are watching on YouTube. I mean, you got the chair, you got the headset. I mean, are you like incognito streaming, just like,
Well, it's actually funny because in season, like, we don't do much, right? So we just
yeah,
like, and I lived with Nelson Brands. I don't know, have you had him on the podcast?
no, not yet.
Well, that dude's a character, and I lived with him for a whole year in his house, and he had like this big PC, and he played video games constantly. He's like, dude, you have to get one. You have to get one. I'm like, all right. So I tried it, and I bought like a really cheap one,
Yep.
and it's super nice. Like I used it for school. Like I'm a finance major, so I
Okay.
could use it for school. Like I have video games obviously, and just like a bunch of things. So like I have two monitors now. I'll play video games or do homework while I watch YouTube and
The multi setup monitor is crucial. It's
yeah,
just
yeah, for sure. It's a need for sure.
I love it. No, I actually saw Nelson Brands did a really good interview a couple weeks ago, and I said I got to get that dude on. He seems like a very awesome dude. Um, so back to NCAA's too. It's like there's been a lot of obvious growth at Iowa for you. You were 1-2 at NCAA's your true freshman year, and then you redshirt, and then you make the finals 2 straight years in a row. And I know obviously just making to the finals isn't what anybody wants, but it's still a very impressive accolade. What do you think contributed to that growth from going 1-2 at NCAA's to making 2 straight finals?
Um, I don't know. I mean, the funny thing is like people don't know this, but like so people knew I had one shoulder surgery after the my first year.
Yeah.
I was out like 8 months. Like they really milked it. They wanted me to feel good, ready to go, right? And so then in my redshirt year, I wrestled Soldier Salute. Um, and then like a couple weeks after, I was wrestling in practice, and I was like wrestling live a lot. I was training hard. Like, I mean, it's the redshirt year, right? That's what redshirts do. And then I actually blew my shoulder out again. So like, yeah. So like 3 months after I was back, I blew it out again. And this time it was a lot worse.
Oof.
So then I had another surgery, and I was out the whole summer leading up to last year, not this year, but last year. And
Yeah.
then like my first week on the mat was um when we wrestled Cal Baptist, or like second week or something like that. So then that was like I was kind of right into it, right? So then this last year was my first year I was healthy. Um I mean I was eating a lot, I was feeling good. Obviously I moved up a weight. Um and I went to Paris with Spencer. Like it was a really good summer for me. I feel like that helped me grow a lot. Just like no worries, just having fun with it, wrestling. I got to travel the world. Um, Moving up weight was huge for me. Um, it's crazy, like how much better I felt. Like I've always like thought like I gotta be stronger than all these kids, Like I need to
Yeah.
be stronger, but you really don't. Like, do I think I was the strongest guy at 33 this year? Probably not, but did it really matter? Not really, you know? It was like it's like I was growing my wrestling. I'm getting better as a wrestler. And that's one thing that like I talked about with TJ Siebel, who I grew up with, who was my
Yep.
club coach, and I'm super close with him. And he said, I was like asking him, I was like, "Do you think I need to go back down?" And I was like, I kind of want to go 33. And he's like, dude, I want you to do whatever you need to do to get better at wrestling. He's like, don't worry
Love
about
that.
the outcome. Just get better at wrestling. And I was like, okay, yeah, I need to go 33 then. And I feel like just my wrestling from like a pure wrestling standpoint from even not only my freshman year, like that was a big jump, obviously, but from my even last year to this year, like I feel like my wrestling's just grown so much, you know? So I'm excited to take another jump of growth and have fun this summer. So
Yeah, it's awesome to see. Talk to me about that experience. What was it like going to Paris with Spencer?
it was cool, you know, because like I got to like experience what it's like. I got to experience
Yeah.
like what he was going through. Um, I was like, we were gone for a long time, and that was so my first trip overseas with Spencer was actually the Turkey for the last chance with
Okay.
Zane and Spence.
Yep.
So I was there, and like it was during finals week, and I was gone for like 7 days during finals week. So I had to like come back and do all my finals right when
That
I got home, and I
sounds
was like in the hotel
rough.
like studying. It's actually pretty funny because so Spence in Turkey, Spencer got like drug tested, and like USADA like will like stay with you and like follow you around, right?
Yep.
And so I'm sitting there like trying to take a nap, and this USADA guy's just sitting on our in our hotel with us because Spencer can't pee. I'm like, dude, Spence, just go pee, and he couldn't. It was pretty funny though, and then that was a good trip. But yeah, back to Paris. So then I went to Paris with Spence, and that was like 17 days I think I was gone for.
Hmm.
So we were gone for a pretty long time. Um, so that was what stuck out to me was like it was like I was basically living there, right? I was living there with all those guys, and I just grew really close with like Spence and the coaches and like the guys that came with us, and like um, it was a really cool experience. And then like after we got back from Normandy, where training camp was or whatnot, then some of my teammates came there, like Warner and Patrick Kennedy, and I got to hang out with them and stuff. So it was just really cool, like to be behind the scenes and like see not only Spencer train, but like all those other guys on the team. You know, like I got to witness them practice and whatnot, and it was just it was just an awesome experience. It was really cool. I'm very grateful for that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it seems like an awesome time, and it's funny. I can't remember if it was maybe it was David Taylor. There's a pattern of guys where it's like they went as a training partner, and then the following cycle they were at the Olympics, and like you hear those stories all the time, whether it's Worlds, Olympics. So it's always cool. I hope we get more and more content, like docu series type content of
Yeah.
watching you guys over there. It's so awesome. Back to the shoulder surgeries. There's a common theme, it seems like, following your career of adversity. And I feel like a lot of wrestlers deal with adversity, maybe more in this sport than any. It's just such a grueling sport, especially for high school or college kid. Like the sport can be relentless. And you talk about bouncing back from surgeries, things that nobody knows, tough losses. You have an all-time great in Spencer Lee in the room, and there's battles. And I remember back when you guys wrestled at the Soldier Salute, how much like public controversy there was,
Yeah.
and so it's like for you, it just seems like you've battled a lot of adversity, you've overcome a lot of it. You seem like an awesome kid. You've got a great perspective. What's your perspective on how you've been able to overcome adversity and not kind of hang your head at anything negative?
Um, I think the biggest thing for me was like I think it helped me grow up a lot. Like I think having those like just helped me mature a lot because I mean you're sidelined for 6 to 8 months and like you can't wrestle. You're sitting there watching your teammates practice. You're doing what you can to get better, right? Um, I think the biggest thing like that in my mindset was like no one needed to know I had surgery because no one cares, you know? Like my opponents the next year, like the whole like 125-pound bracket at nationals, they didn't care that I had shoulder surgery, you know what I mean? Like it didn't matter. So
Yeah.
like I wasn't very public about it because it's like it didn't matter for me. It was about the next thing. It was about getting better. It was just taking stepping stones to really getting better, and that's kind of how I that's kind of just how I operate. I'm on to the next thing, you know? So it was like when it happened, I'm like, okay, what do I got to do now? And it's like, okay, 3 days later, we're getting you fixed. Then you're on the road to recovery. And then 6 weeks later, okay, I'm out of the sling. Now I'm moving, you know? So
Yeah.
I think just like for me, it's just like moving forward, getting better. And then now it's just like it helps me be grateful to be healthy because it's like sometimes
Hmm.
taken for granted. And like in high school, I wasn't injury prone at all. Um, I didn't really get hurt at all. So so now it's just like after I've dealt with that, um, I mean, I think for like the first, like I did the math one time, but like for the first 24 months or something in college, I was out for like 16 of them or something
That's
crazy.
wild.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just really grateful to be healthy and grateful to be feeling good and able to wrestle. So
Yeah, I love that. And when you have, there's such different examples of adversity. Like you talk about being sidelined for 6 to 8 months and how that can change your perspective. Talk to me about the finals match this year, Lucas Bird. You go into overtime. It's a super close match. The final score is what, 2-1. What did you kind of take away from that? What's your perspective from the tournament? Not even just that match, but the tournament overall.
um, I think the tournament overall, I think I wrestled pretty well. I mean, I think we did a good job of like wrestling where I'm good, kind of, you know.
Hmm.
Um, like for example, the Buzakis match. Like as soon as he went on bottom, I was just like, all right, we can go back to our feet because I knew he was good on bottom, right?
Yeah.
So things like that. I mean, I thought I wrestled really well. I wrestled smart. I was firing my offense, and then we get to the finals match, and it's a lot different, right? So I think, I mean, props to Lucas. He's a tough competitor, man. He's hard to get to, and um, people talk about the stall call and whatnot, but I mean, he out wrestled me in that match. You know, I'm not worried about the stall call. I got to be better and do better. So, um, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. It's still fresh, obviously. I haven't even
Yeah.
watched the match, and I probably won't. But
Hey, listen, I don't know if it'll make a difference you watching the match, but if you watch the ESPN commentary and you watch Daniel Cormier and his reaction to Bird winning in context of his girlfriend who's super tall, it is one of the funniest things. That's like unfortunate that it was as a result of on your side of that match, but all time clip on that side. But yeah, you do have it. It's so funny because your offense, we're talking about the rapid fire questions, and there's so many of them. We were laughing that somebody wants a slide by tutorial in rapid fire Q&A. But yeah, it is crazy because you have some matches where it's like against Cade Moore, you put up 21 points. Against
mhm.
Buzakis, you put up 23 points. What do you think's the difference? Is it just sometimes getting to your offense better? There's like it's crazy the juxtaposition of some of the matches as far as like how many points you're capable of putting up.
Yeah, well, I think a big thing is like I put up a lot of points my whole life, right? Even in high school, like I was always like that, and I would always like wrestle hard. And then my first year, like when I was or would have been my third year, but so my second year in the lineup at Iowa when was in the finals at 25, I like would only win 1 point matches. And my coaches and my parent, like even my parents and like they're like, what's going on? Like, dude, I don't know. Don't ask. Like it's frustrating because you don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just I was more comfortable this year. I think I learned a lot and um so yeah, I think scoring points is just what I like to do and it's always preached at at Iowa and Seabolt too and even Fort Dodge where I'm from. So um, yeah, I just really felt good this year.
I love that. What's the difference? This was your second time on that stage Saturday night under the lights. What was the difference? Did this experience feel different than being in the finals last year?
Um, maybe like I think it wasn't a surprise to me that I was in the finals at 25 at all. Like I knew that I could do it. I just had to go set out and do it. So then I was kind of like excited to be like in the finals. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, sweet, this is NCAA finals. Like I've dreamt about this forever, you know, like let's go do it. And then this year it was like, okay, like I'm here again. Like this isn't like I wasn't satisfied, you know. I was kind of
Yeah.
like I want to get this one. And not saying I was satisfied, but the year before, but it was just like I was pretty excited to be in the finals. Like it was my first time being an All-American. You kind of got that weight off your shoulders, like, oh, you're an All-American now, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I think it was just like I've been there before, and I'm ready to get it done. So
I love that. One thing too that I love about your NCAA tournament wasn't even on the mat; it was off the mat. Um, you were, I can't remember. I think it might have been after your semis, maybe. I can't remember when it was, but you did an interview, and basically you saw Teemer and Parco taking some heat, and you stood up for them right away, and you're like, I can't remember if it was Iowa fans specifically or just all wrestling fans. You're like, you guys need to chill. Like, these are great humans. Like, their performance might not have been the best at NCAA's, but like, these are people too. And I thought that was commendable. I think when you're standing for your teammates and you're making, people are obviously asking you a lot of questions about you and your tournament, and you're making about your teammates, I think is great. And you're sticking up for your teammates. What kind of went into that you're like, I got to say something? Like, these are my guys. I got to defend them.
well, like this. Well, first of all, Hawkeye fans are crazy, right? So
Oh,
they
you
love
don't got
you
to
and they
tell me.
which I love them. I mean I love
Oh,
them.
they're
I
some of
love
the most
Hawkeye fans.
passionate fans
Yeah.
around.
And they've got my back, you know what I mean? But it's like they love you when you're doing really good and
Mm-hmm.
the opposite when you're not. So it's like and I was sitting there with my mom after I don't remember what it was. It was after like a duel. It was like during the year. And I'm like, dude, this is just ridiculous. Like some of the things these people say and whatnot. I'm like, and it's not just Hawkeye fans. Like it's all wrestling fans, right?
Yeah.
Those weren't the only people crapping on those two. But I told my mom, like, dude, I gotta say something. I'm like, in an interview, the next interview they asked me, I gotta say something. So that just happened to be the time where they asked me, and so I was like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys just gotta chill out a little bit. Like these two are great humans. Like they're talking about, wow, they got this money and then they did this, whatever. Like all that aside, like they're humans. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like they see this stuff and it hurts them. So I think that was just a good opportunity for me to say something. And look, I don't know if it's gonna change. I don't think it's gonna change anything, but at least they like people know like they could see it. You know, they could see like, hey, sometimes this does affect people. So I don't know. I think yeah, that's where I'm at with that. It's just we love Hawkeye fans. We love them and we love how passionate they are. But um sometimes it's tough. So the one thing that really rubbed me wrong was Jacob Warner's senior year. Um, I don't know if you remember that so much, but they were so tough on him. He was taking kind of a lot of losses that he wasn't used to taking. I mean, he was like a three-time All-American or four-time All-American at that point. Just made the national finals, and he was taking some losses, and they were hard on him. They were hard on him, and that was my redshirt year.
Yep.
Um, and I was with him behind the scenes and stuff, and it wasn't easy. And so that's something that sticks out to me, and that's kind of reminded me of this year a little bit too. So yeah,
Yeah, I think it's good. Like you said, I don't think it's going to change everybody, but if a couple people catch on and a couple people are like, hey, maybe I should think twice before firing off this tweet behind my
yeah,
random avatar. And it's like, it's always funny that half of these people, or a lot of them, they have no real name, no real profile picture. Like, they're just trolling. It's like, you're talking about a
yeah,
guy. I love the Man in the Arena poem. It's like, these are guys who are in the arena. And I get sports. You're going to have critique. You're going to have criticism of a public athlete for sure. But I just thought it was great to, you sometimes don't hear that. Because there's that aspect of like, well, what's it going to do?
the
But
burner accounts are what bothers me the most, dude. I forgot about
I know.
like, dude, like if you're gonna talk crap about me or my teammates or my friends or like my family, like use your real name and it'll make me feel way better. You know what I mean? Like, why are
100%.
you being a coward behind a screen?
Yep.
I don't know. I get it. It's today's day and age. Like that's just how it is. But that's what
100%.
that's that's what makes me mad.
No, I get it, man. I'm right there with you. Speaking of teammates, big news over the weekend. Little Rock duo Nasir Bailey and Jordan Williams joining Iowa. I was actually going to reach out to them to see if they wanted to come on the podcast together and talk about where they were going to go, but I heard they were still like taking visits. Like, hey, I'm hearing they're going to go check out Missouri, Nebraska, and then before I could even get them on the podcast, they're putting a dance video out from the Hawkeye room. Like, well, I didn't get that opportunity, but tell me about how excited you are to have those guys in the lineup. And it's kind of cool because now you guys are going to be back to back to back.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. So I saw they went in the portal on like it was literally like Monday or Tuesday after Nationals, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
soon. And I was like I knew Nasir was big, right? So I was like, I wonder if he's gonna think about going up. So I texted him. I said, "Hey, are you going up or what's your plan?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got a red shirt and I'm ready to go up to 41." And I was like, "All right, well, you want to come to Iowa City?" Basically, basically we got it facilitated to where he was actually in Iowa at the time, and so we got him up here like the next day. He drove like 2 hours and came here, and it's crazy because he's a really good dude. So Nasir was here a day earlier than Jordan, so I got to know him a little bit better. But he was like, I mean, he's in it for the wrestling, you know. He's like he wants to win, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. I was like, dude, Star, we got to get this guy. We got to get this guy to commit. So then Jordan came the day after, and I got to know both of them pretty well, and um, they're really good dudes. They're really good people, and I was talking to Nasir. He's from Illinois, and I'm from Iowa, and we're like the same distance from Iowa City.
Really?
So, yeah, like we're both like 2.5 hours away. So he's coming closer to home, and I'm super excited for him. So
I'm always curious on the athlete side of like, there's a lot of negativity on the portal from a fan standpoint. Sometimes where it's like, Penn State, Iowa, Oklahoma State, getting this guy, loading up, whatever. But I'm always curious about like the athlete perspective of like you just said, like somebody gets in the portal and you're like, I'd love to have this guy on my team. And I've talked to
yeah,
athletes before. They're like, hey, do you know so and so's like phone number? Like, this is awesome. He's in the portal. Love to have him come here. Do you guys as athletes like not, I don't want to say watch the portal, but it seems like you're pretty aware of who's going in and what's going on with it.
I think it's funny because it's evolving each year. Like last
Yeah.
year and like the year before, I don't know when it started, but it's just like it was like I never really reached out to people like at all. Um, it was like you don't like, and I don't think really anybody did. And then
Yeah.
this year, I feel like there's more than I've ever seen. Like I have people reaching out to me, like asking me, like you know what I mean? Like they're like reaching out to me, asking me, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like I'm not sure. Like um, you might need to go in the portal. Like I don't know. I don't know that side of things. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
there's guys like, okay, Nasir's in the portal. I'm gonna reach out to him because I want him to be a part of the team. You know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think there's more communication between the athletes than ever when it comes to that stuff. And yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny because Willie and I were doing a show yesterday and talking about it. I'm like, a lot of the transfer activity, portal activity, like it's not even just athletes; it's parents talking. There's so many people talking, and there's so many opportunities right now. It's crazy. And you guys don't just have big transfers coming in; you got a lot of big recruits coming in
Mhm.
over the coming years. You got Leo DeLuca and Harvard Ludington. You got Bo Bassett, which also it's crazy that you're already going to be graduated before Bo Bassett gets there.
I
Like
know, right?
time is flying. But
Yeah.
what's the excitement level for all these high level recruits coming in?
Yeah, I mean, the excitement level can never be higher, right? I think Hawkeye fans are pumped about it. I know we're pumped about it. I got to know Leo pretty well. Leo's been out here a lot on visits and whatnot. So he's a good dude. He's really good. He's freaking tough, dude. He's ready to freaking go in the lineup right now. You know what I mean? He was ready last year. He's good. I wrestled him a couple times, and he's strong, dude. He's one of the stronger guys that I've wrestled, and he was only a junior in high school. So he's I'm excited for him. He has a bright future. Um, as for the other guys, I mean, they were all on visits here, and I got to know them well too, and they're awesome people. You know, they're really good people outside of the wrestling. And yeah, I'm just super excited for them. They've got a bright future for sure, and the Hawks got a bright future. So
When you talk about kids, like, so you've got recruits coming in like Leo DeLuca. You've got all-time greats like Spencer Lee. You've got transfers like Bailey and Williams. Your training situation looks is better than ever when you talk
hmm
about the whole picture. Does that does that help you with, I don't want to say expectation because you expect to be a national champ and you're as talented to be one. But when you look at all of those training possibilities, does that excite you to take it to another level?
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that I've got the best, I mean, lightweight training room in the country. That's what I believe, and not to mention DeSanto's there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Sorensen. Like there's guys like that. Like it's an awesome environment, man. It really is, and I think it's constantly evolving too. Like some people think like, oh, it's just the Iowa way. Like they're gonna run you into the ground, whatnot. It's not like that. You know what I mean? These coaches are evolving too. Like Tom is so smart. Like people sometimes don't give him credit for that, but he's one of the smartest dudes I know. Like the way he's like articulates everything. Like he's just super smart. Same with Starr and Terry and Telford and all those guys. You know, so yeah, I really believe that we've got the best training environment in the country. You know, and um, I'm just super excited to grow and train this summer and get ready to go for next year. Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. I do think there's so many coaches that aren't painted in a certain picture because a lot of it's like you take pieces of what you see, and it's like I thought seeing stuff like Chael Sonnen in the room, taking some videos with the coaches and doing stuff like, it's really cool to see that inside look and see kind of more than just a guy in the corner of a match or a guy doing post event conference or whatever it might be.
hmm
Definitely, again, common theme of like, wish we had more content. Um, Talk to me about having your brother Drew in the room. I don't think we're gonna see a Drake versus Drew NCAA match like we just saw with Luke Stout and Max Stout. But what's it
Yeah.
like having your brother in the room?
It's awesome, man. He's a character, dude. He's funny. So having him around is just it's good. It just lightens the mood all the time and um yeah, I mean me and my family were super close and still are, but like when I lived at home we were so close. And so when I moved out here, like I was an 18-year-old kid and I was moving out, it's like I missed him a lot. Like I wanted to go home so much my freshman year. And then after that first year, it's kind of not like that really anymore for me. It wasn't for me anyways. Um, and so then I got Drew out here, and it feels like, I mean, this feels like my home, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for that. He actually lives with me. We live in a house. Um, so he lives with me, and
Does he
we've
have
got
his
some.
gaming setup too?
No, he actually does. He doesn't really play video games. He just runs around and does whatever he does. I don't know. He's you guys got I mean you got to meet him. He's a funny dude. He's a good dude.
I love that. One more guy I got to ask you about, Stephen Buchanan. First guy to AA at three different schools. He's only been in the Iowa room for a year now. But what was it like adding a veteran like Buchanan to the room? And then what was the overall vibe with him winning a national title this year?
I mean that's what the like that's what's funny is like everybody will talk about like we have a lot of transfers, right? What's the culture like, blah blah blah. But as soon as these guys step in, like yeah, it might take a week or two to get to know them, right? But they're really like our brothers. And Buchanan is one of the like most he is literally like the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. Like he is the most like I look up to him in a lot of ways just because he's he's literally like the model of what you want to be like. Like he is such a good dude, and I mean, no one deserved it more than him on Saturday night. So, um, I'm super happy for him. We were all super happy for him, and um, how cool is that he got to end his career on top, you know? So, I'm really happy for him, and yeah.
That's awesome. You know, you mentioned what people say about the Iowa culture or the Iowa way. What is your perspective on the like the state of the Iowa culture?
That's a tough question, obviously, because there's just so much that I think about when that question's asked. Because like I just know it's not like that, you know? So it's like,
Hmm.
and we stay tight to the chest a lot because that's just how collegiate athletics are nowadays, you know? You just stay tight to the chest. You kind of like don't want to let people in on what's happening and stuff. But I feel like doing stuff like that, like me doing stuff like this, and like people we were talking about like making a podcast or something. Like I think if like somebody on our team would do that, like they would really realize like because we don't really have much like behind the scenes stuff. Like I
Yeah.
see like a lot of like especially like Oklahoma State and Penn State, like they have like a lot of behind the scenes footage and everybody's like, "Oh, it looks so fun there." Like we don't really have some of that. Um and so I don't know if it's misinterpreted, but I feel like we got to get stuff like that going because it's so much different than what people say, and it's just really a great environment and a great culture, and that's why you see people come on like visits and then commit that day because they just love it and they don't want to see anything else, you know? Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And I don't really the thing is I don't care what people think. Like I don't care that these burner accounts think that it's
Right.
the burner account thinks that Iowa City's terrible and we don't have fun. Um, but like it sometimes hurts recruiting. Like it does. Like it's
Mhm.
kind of like it's like the elephant in the room. Like hey, like people don't think it's fun here. Like that's what wrestling is, fun, right? Well, these recruits don't want to come here because of that sometimes, you know? And I don't know that for sure, but um I think that's why we got to get recruits out here. Like that's a big thing is just getting them out here, and then they get to see it, and they get to see how commentary are like, and how Morningstar's like, and how we're all like, and our culture, and us hanging out, and then it gets better from there. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
I think too, like we were talking about player podcasts and athletes, and it's tough in wrestling. Like I had said to you, like if you like you got an awesome personality. If you did
Mhm.
a show every Monday during the season, the amount of views it would get are crazy. At the same
Mhm.
time, it's like people want people will always be unhappy if you don't cover this or talk about it. Like it is tough, but I do think there can be a balance. Like probably next year you can't do it with me, but 2 years from now, let's make a deal. You come on, and you and I will do the Penn State Iowa dual preview. Those are things that I think would be
Yeah,
fun. You know, when
for
you
sure.
have like, I think it doesn't just have to be like Iowa athlete doing a podcast or a coach doing a podcast, but I think getting in the mix with content, and I do think like on one hand it doesn't matter what people think, on the other perception's reality, and sometimes it's like if they saw a glimpse of this, like if somebody's watching this and whether it's a young kid, be like, man, Drake is awesome, like I'd love to go there. Like
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
reality of the matter. um
exactly.
Speaking of Buchanan too, leadership, veterans in the room, who is somebody who's maybe mentored you or that's kind of taken on a leadership position that you look up to in the room?
Um, I think there's a few. I mean, there's a lot actually, but I think that like they mentor me in different ways. You know, I think that like a guy like DeSanto, like I think a guy like him, like his mindset and like the way he's a competitor, like he is a competitor through and through, but he is such a good dude, you know? And that's one dude that I don't know if people realize, but he would be a great coach one day. He would be an awesome coach. He actually helps Marinelli with his kids club around
Yeah.
here, and he is awesome with kids. He's just a super good dude. Um, Another guy I look up to a lot is Sorensen. Brandon Sorensen. He's obviously not like it's not broadcasted everywhere that he's still in HWC, but he's battled some adversity in his life, and I think
Yeah.
just what he's been through, and he was out in Paris with us, and I got to know him really well, and he's a really good dude, and I look up to him in a lot of ways.
That's awesome. Do you feel like the leadership is pivoting to you being the leader now? It's crazy when you talk about, you know, I feel like we got kind of plagued by sixth and seventh year seniors because of COVID
Hmm.
to the degree where now it's like Willie and I in this one group chat were talking about like these guys like Levi Haynes, Caleb Henson, guys that are just like in and out, especially guys
Hmm.
in no red shirt. We're not used to it. The fact that you're already going to be a senior, I got to imagine it feels like your collegiate career is kind of flying by. Does it feel like you're pivoting now towards that leadership role? Like you're going to be a senior next year already, which is crazy.
Hmm.
But does it start to feel like that for you?
I think a big thing is like as you get older, I feel like I realized like, hey, I got to be a little more vocal with my leadership. Um, but I've always been a guy that like kind of like tries to lead by example. You know, like I don't want to go into like I want to go into the room and be the hardest worker in there, and then guys look at me and they're like, okay, that's what I got to be like. You know, so that's a big thing for me is just leading by example. But yeah, as I've gotten older, I realized like um, it's time to be more vocal. And I think like especially with like the transfers coming in, like they don't know what it's like right away, you know? So they
Yeah.
kind of look to me too, and so yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
You've already had 4 years at Iowa. Your final year is next year. What do you think, looking back so far? You still have one more year. I know you want to be a national champ next year, and I'm sure that would be one of the things you're most proud of. But looking back these last 4 years, what are you most proud of as you start to reflect on what you've done so far?
Um, it's a good question. I think what I'm most proud of is like being able to like I think like what I'm most proud of is like being able to overcome the adversities that I did like with everything, but it's like what I'm proud of that because like in the moment I wasn't feeling sorry for myself, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
proud that I wasn't feeling sorry for myself and I'm proud that I did what I could to get better at that time. Like when I had a shoulder surgery, I was doing one-handed push-ups, you know what I mean? Like things like that. Like I was doing stuff to get better, like and I wasn't feeling sorry for myself and it wasn't a pity party just because oh, I got bad luck. I'm having another surgery, you know? So
Hmm.
I think I'm proud of the way I handled stuff like that. Um, yeah, and that's what I'm proud of.
One thing that I can tell you sticks out to me, performance wise, is that I always had a couple of awesome streaks at NCAA's. 53 straight NCAA's now with a Hawkeye All American, and 35 straight as a Hawkeye finalist. And by the way, for people that tell me sometimes this show is Penn State recruiting propaganda, here you go. I'm doing Iowa recruiting propaganda now. Two incredible streaks, and for the 35 straight years with a Hawkeye finalist, you single-handedly kept that intact last year. Do you think of these streaks at all? Like you're contributing to Hawkeye history, and I can tell you as a fan of the sport, like it's so awesome to see these streaks stay intact because it's a storyline, and storylines are what makes people tune in. Will Iowa have another finalist next year to go 36 straight years? Will they have an All-American 54 straight years? Like it's awesome
Hmm.
streaks. For you, what's it like being a part of that?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's cool. Like you don't really think of it in the moment, kind of like I was talking about earlier. Like I don't sit here and be like, oh, like that's cool that I kept the streak alive, just because you're not thinking about it like in the moment, you know.
Yeah.
So I think things like that I'll probably reflect more of when I'm actually done. When I'm like done with my career, I'll look back and be like, those are some things I'm proud of. But right now in the moment I talked about how I like just look towards the next thing. So it's kind of like looking towards the next thing for me, um but yeah, I am proud of that obviously. It's cool to be a part of history.
Looking at the next thing, I know we're just 2 weeks out from NCAA's.
Mhm.
Have you started looking in your mind at all towards next season and thinking of like what you want or need to do to not only get back to the finals, but to be on top of the podium?
Um yeah, I think there's things that um I think there's always things, right, that you're
Yeah.
thinking about, but I think a big thing for me right now is just kind of um relaxing and taking a little break. I think that's what I need for a little bit, and then when I'm back into it, I'm it's not half in, half out. It's ready to be back into it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm obviously super excited for next year already, and it's only April 2nd. So yeah.
It'll be awesome. I don't care if you're a Hawkeye fan or not. If you have a guy who was second, and then he's in the finals his senior year, his final match, I can't imagine many people are not going to be pulling for you because, like you're saying with like Buchanan, it's such an awesome way to go out. I think you're going to have a lot of people pulling for you next year. Let's do this. Let's do some rapid fire because man, did we get a lot of questions for you. Some of them we've covered. Some of them Some of them are silly, but we'll go through hitting as many as we can quickly. A lot of like, what are your plans after college? Do you even know that yet? Have you thought about that?
I don't. Um, I want to coach. Like that's what I guess obviously I wrestling still. But is it? I don't know if it's more asking like what I want to do for a job or like when I'm done
That
wrestling. But
it's kind of
either.
like that's it's one of like the quirky things about this is they're so limited that I don't think they give the context, so it's kind of open for interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to keep wrestling, and we'll see how far that goes. And then yeah, I'd love to coach when I'm older. I think that would be something I'd love to do. So.
Someone said, "What did you do to prepare for the semis against Fujit? How did you feel before the match?"
That match, I mean, I've already wrestled him before, but I knew it wasn't going to be like that. I knew it was the national semifinals. He's going to be geared up, and it was kind of just, it's like you take a couple things, like, you know what they're good at. And yeah, I knew he was good at like drags, reattacks, and stuff like that. And so I had to be crisp with my offense and whatnot, but I was just really excited. It's dog bone, and that's super cool. It fires me up, so.
There's nothing like Friday night. There's just nothing like it. Do you have a favorite Iowa wrestler of all time?
Oof. I think one that comes to mind, I think two that come to mind was I really like when I was like 8 years old or something when maybe I wasn't eight. I don't remember how old I was, but I was young when McDonough was winning his titles at 25, and I was a small guy. I was homegrown Iowa kid, so that really like that stuck out to me. Like that fired me up. I think it was my like he was like my phone screensaver for like a year. I think.
Really?
Like, things like that. But other than that, I think Mark Ironside. I love watching him wrestle. Um, Tom and Terry, obviously, but yeah.
Patrick Kennedy's hopping in with the Q&A. Ask him how many headgears he lost this year.
Yeah, so that's a funny story. That's kind of why I started rocking the gold headgear was because I would like lose these headgears. Like we would wrestle live in practice and then I'd throw it to the side and then I'd forget to go get it and then it would be gone the next day. And so then I lost probably around four black headgears. I was like, all right, I'm getting a gold one and I'm gonna keep track of it. And that's what I did for like the last month or two.
Do you get any flack when you lose it, or is it just like the equipment manager, equipment team being like, all right, Drake, here's another one?
I mean, I probably would get some, yeah, but the equipment managers are super cool. They understood.
What are the best ways to get in the right mentality for a big wrestling match or tournament?
Um, I think whatever you gotta get to where like whatever makes you yourself. You know, I'm obviously there's like okay, it's a big stage, like it heightens up a little bit, but being yourself is what got you there. You know, so I think just being yourself and just being able to let it fly and let it like let yourself show, um, kind of on that wrestling match. So I think like just being yourself is a big thing.
We were laughing at this one earlier. Somebody's asking just slide by tutorial. That might be more better suited for like an Instagram video or maybe a
Yeah.
room from the video, not from the gaming setup. Um, let's see. There's a lot of like any thought of going up to 41. I'm assuming with all these guys adding now and how good you feel at 33, no thought on going up.
Uh, I don't know. We'll see. I guess there's some options, right? Nasir's a 33 pounder. He had a red shirt too. So, um, I don't know. We'll see.
There you
I
go.
think I felt really comfortable at 33 this year. So I will say that, but I don't think it's out of the like I don't think it's out of like
Not a
outlandish
question.
possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, somebody's asking when you're hopping the portal to head east. um, will you be wrestling freestyle this summer?
We'll see. Like I said, I'm kind of in a break right now. It's pretty fresh after nationals, so that'll be a talking point for me and my coaches soon, but not right now.
Best spot to eat in Dirty Dodge.
Oh, and
Is that
Dirty
what
Dodge.
is that what they call Dirty? Cade
That's what they,
McMahon.
yeah, that's what they call Fort Dodge. Best spot to eat. I mean, my dad's a really, really good cook, but that's like a cop out answer. I think like what they're like famous for is Taco Tico. It's like this fast food Mexican restaurant in Fort Dodge. So if you go to Fort Dodge, you've never been there, you got to go there.
What is somebody going to Fort Dodge for specifically? Do they host
Uh,
conferences or something like?
they host like a couple things. Like I think they host cross country state championships for Iowa high school. They host like the state softball. Um, so they host a few things, and then like on your way, like it's like on off of 20 in Iowa, like this whatever it's called. And so
Yeah.
they people that drive by and like go to Okoboji. I don't know if you've heard of Okoboji, but sometimes they
Yep.
drive by Fort Dodge, stuff like that.
All right, well, there you go. Now you have a spot to eat in the Dirty Dodge. How was it transitioning from Seabolt Academy to being in the Iowa room?
Um, I think it's very similar. I think the mindset is very, very similar between my coaches and TJ. So I think that was a easy, very easy adjustment. Um, I think the biggest thing when you go to a college room, it's like it's not even so much that the practices are harder. Like I wouldn't say our practices are harder than what I was doing at Siebold because those things are tough.
Yeah.
But it's like more like you wrestling, like you're not wrestling high school kids, you're wrestling college kids. So that just automatically makes it tougher. You know what I mean? So I think just the partners probably make it the
And
toughest
senior
transition.
level guys. I mean, you got Olympic
Yeah,
silver medalists in the room.
exactly.
You got like, there's
Exactly.
so many. Are Matt Flexes still your favorite shoes?
Oh, for sure. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying that or not, but Asics, I love Asics wrestling shoes. Those are kind of my that's
Shout
kind of
out.
what I loved
Have you
in
mentioned that
high
before? I
school.
mean, that's shout out. That what a specific question. Like,
I know that was a good question, but yeah, I used to rock the Matt Flexes in high school, so I loved the Asics. I mean, I love Nike now though too. I don't ever. I love the Nike takedowns and the Nike Freaks. Those are my two go-tos.
Nike
So
dominated. I think somebody put out a thing that like I want to say 16 of the 20 finalists this year were wearing Nikes, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with like school contracts and stuff like that. But
yeah,
scale of
doing
1 to
good.
10, rate cheese fries.
Cheese fries?
Scale 1 to 10, rate cheese fries.
Uh,
It's an Oklahoma State fan, if it matters.
cheese fries. I haven't had cheese fries in a while. I'll give it like a 7 though. Pretty solid. I like cheese
Okay.
fries.
A lot of these are. How bad do your biceps get bruised wrestling DeSanto?
It's funny because they it's like
I've
it's
seen
not a
pictures.
bruise. Like I don't get a bruise. I'll get like it's like third degree burns like in my armpit. Like it's crazy. I have a couple. I like everybody posts their pic. Like Gross posted his picture online or whatever. But
Yeah.
I have a couple pictures from my freshman year where it's like coaches were like, "Dude, you gotta stop letting him go to your armpit." I'm like, "Dude, I can't." Like he's so good at it. He's it's pretty. Yeah,
Was 33 a lot more comfortable cut wise this year than 25 last?
100%. It was actually like 25 was tough to make. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. It was I just kept growing. I kept getting bigger every summer. So then I remember last year, like I got done and I was like, "Oh, finally on full feed," and I was like, "Wow, I feel so good right now." And then now it's like I can't believe how much better I felt last year because I felt it like the same this whole year. So, um, yeah, it's night and day different. It was a lot better.
Who was just on? I'm drawing a blank. Was it? Maybe it was Josh Barr. Somebody was just on, and they were talking to me about how they have different. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on this. On different Chipotle orders, depending on if they're cutting weight in season or after season. Oh no, it was Luke Lillidahl. Lillidahl was telling me that he's got one go-to Chipotle order during the season and then one off. Do you happen to have different Chipotle orders depending on the time of year?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think that I'll change like the portions. Like if I wrestle the next day, I'm probably not going to eat as much as I would on a Monday, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I think like portions for me is the biggest thing.
By the way,
But
it's hilarious too that I'm not even prefacing it with like, do you go to Chipotle regularly? It's just how
yeah.
different does your order. It's like I feel like every college kid, especially wrestlers, going to Chipotle.
We got like we have like an app thing here that like gives us amount of money to go to eat it, like stuff like that. So like we get $45 a week on what it's called like Black Card, and then we
Yeah,
just go to Chipotle and then or like Chipotle is one of them, so we can just go there and eat for free each week basically. So that's
that's
pretty cool.
awesome. What other options do you have on that?
There's like 25 options. Like there's like just a bunch of places around Iowa City. Um, so but they only have like the healthy options. So I mean that's what we would use it for anyways. But
Have you ever gotten so hungry, craving something specific from the Dirty Dodge that you had to make the 3 hour drive or 2.5 hour drive back?
no, actually I haven't. I haven't. But every when I go back, like I'll go to Taco Tico if I get time. But really,
Yeah.
my dad's food. My dad is a really good cook. So whenever we go back, he'll like grill out and like cook for us. So I crave that.
Give me an example of something that he cooks that you love.
Um, the main thing is he cooks enchiladas. Like we're Mexican. Like my grandparents are like full 100% Mexican. So like
Okay.
they have this like enchilada recipe. Um, and it's fire. Like I'll bring a couple pans back to Iowa City and thaw them out and bake them, and that's probably my favorite.
See, so like here you go. Here's like Player Podcast week number 2. Today we're gonna dive into the family enchilada recipe. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's golden. This one just says Dean Peterson question mark. That seems open for interpretation.
Um, we'll see. I mean, I like to leave that stuff up to those guys and like what's going on with them. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
obviously it's in the works. I don't know what is in the works, and I don't know what's really going on. I talked to Dean, um, just to talk to him. Nothing crazy, but I don't know. We'll see. I hope so. That'd be cool, right?
Are you a Pokemon guy? We've got a Nico Sophie in the chat asking favorite Pokemon.
Favorite Pokemon? I am not a Pokemon guy. I will say that when me and Spencer were in Paris, he got me hooked on Pokemon Go for a little bit, but
I'm wondering if
just
that's
because
why
we were
they're
super
asking.
bored. Yeah, probably. He actually got me hooked on Pokemon Go, but I have not played it in a while. But
All right, here's the final question we'll end with from Kyle. Who wins in a fight, Tom, Terry, or Seabolt?
oh God.
Easy one to end the show with.
Oh, in a fight, I don't know, dude. I don't think I'm allowed to answer that question from all parties. I don't think that would be smart of me. But but yeah, I can't answer that, but I will say those three were like some of the most influential people in my life. So, not to like disregard the question, but those three have done a lot for me and really changed me, not only my wrestling, but as a human being. So I'm really grateful for all of them, and um, obviously Tom and Terry, my coaches now, but I still talk to DJ um, a lot. I go back there every summer, and he's actually 45 minutes away from my hometown, so I owe a lot to that guy. And
Yeah, and
thankful for him.
for context, for people wondering, it's more of one of those questions that's not going to get answered, but funny. Tom and Terry obviously as college coaches, and then Seabolt his coach prior to college. So one of those like, can you beat your dad type of question.
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
well, there's some other questions. We'll leave those for another day, another show. Drake, thank you for making the time to come on today. I really appreciate it. I'm sure all the Hawkeye fans appreciate it. I'm sure college wrestling fans in general appreciate it. Any final words here before I let you go?
No, just thanks for having me on, and if any recruits are listening, just know that we're not robots over here. Come be a hawk. It's pretty cool over here. So.
And there you go. And listen, you'll not only have to come back on for sure, and you don't have to wait 2 years, but Hawkeyes versus the Nittany Lions 2027. We'll do the preview show together, and that'll be fun.
I'm in. I'm in. Let's do it.
Awesome. I love it, Drake. I'll link up Drake's social below. Go follow him. He's great. And we'll be back in another episode shortly. Thanks, man.